Hey traders, John Howell here. Just going for my afternoon walk right now, and I want to just share some things with you that I had a phone call with a gentleman today about my coaching program, and I was talking to him about some things that I think it's I think it's one of the things that going into trading and and going down the path of trading a lot and stuff like that. I started talking to him about my evolution of trading and so on and so forth, and how I trade right now. See, how I trade right now is this: I only trade half an hour, maybe an hour per day. Now when I say trade, that's me scanning the markets, looking for opportunities to get in today, right? And I'm looking to get in today, and I'm looking to hold it for a few days, a few weeks, sometimes up to a month or more. My longest trade this year has been about 6 months. My shorter trade has been one day. That one day is obviously a losing position, right? So I was talking to him about like my trading. So my trading right now, that's what I do. So my evolution of that is, or should I say, the reason why I trade that way right now. Isn't that just gorgeous, guys? Isn't that just gorgeous? Anyway, so the reason why I trade like that now, okay? So my system and what I do is I have an amazing high quality trading setup that I look for. And then I have scans to help me find those trades. And it scans the entire market, like all the stocks and so on and so forth. And what ends up happening is I do the scanning, and then I like to trade those, and then I like to use leverage such as options and so on and so forth on those positions. So it's pretty amazing, right? Powerful setup, scanning process, and then all I'm doing is, because I'm trading a daily, when I say trade the daily chart, I'm looking to get in on the daily chart. And my ideal situation is I'm looking to hold it for a few days, maybe up to a week and a half to 2 weeks. On average, and then I have a few trades that last, like a month or more. But the reason why I trade like that now is for two reasons. The first reason is because I'm not looking for a lot of trades. My mindset shift is I'm looking for opportunities that I can make a big profit from, right? I can make a really nice profit from. I'm not looking, right? So I'm not looking for 10 small profitable trades. My mindset shift is I'm looking for opportunities to get in, to hold it for a week or two, and pick up maybe 50%, 100%, maybe more, right? Like I'm in a trade right now, and it's about 150, 160% return, and it's still going right now, right? I'm only in one trade right now as I speak. But that's the type of profit I'm looking for, right? I'm not looking to get a 5% profit here, 20% profit here. You know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to get that. I'm looking for opportunities to try to capitalize on a good, 50, 80, 100% return. And again, if you start to pick up like that and you start to do, a 10 or a $20,000 position, and you're picking up 50%, 80% return, you sort of do the numbers there, right? But the thing for me was, so that was the first thing, is that I'm not looking for a lot of trades. I'm just looking to get into a trade, to hold it for a week or two, to capitalize on a big profit, right? And secondly, the reason why I do that is because it gives me lifestyle as well too, right? Because when I first started getting involved with trading, right, see me from there. when I started getting involved with trading, right, I got involved with trading for what? Because I got involved with trading because I wanted freedom in my life, right? And what ended up happening was I went down this path of looking at 1 minute charts, 2 minute charts, 5 minute charts, spending most of my waking hours looking at those markets, right? And you know yourself, if you're down the path right now and you're sitting in front of the screen for 4 or 5 or 6 hours looking at those time frames, the 1 minute charts, the 2 minute charts, maybe 5 minute charts, 3 minute charts, 15 minute charts, 30 minute charts, and you're watching those unfold, looking for opportunities every day, I guarantee you two things that's happening right now. One, you're getting very, very, very tired every single day, right? When you're looking at the markets, you get really fatigued, right? Because trading the market and looking for opportunities, mentally wise, it's mentally draining, right? Because your brain's on fire 100%. It's just gone. Looking at the patterns and drawing the trend lines and looking at your... I hope you're not using indicators now. If you're watching me, you hope you're not using indicators. Right? And that's what ends up happening. And you get so mentally drained. And guess what happens when that happens? Then you start to make a lot of mistakes, right? You start to, I haven't had a trade. Let me just take this trade anyway. And then guess what ends up happening? You end up losing money. You end up going backwards. And it's hard. Like I'm telling you right now, like my success rate and, you know, my growth on my account has exploded, right? Has exploded in profit by trading less time now. And it goes back to what I was saying before about, you know, about when I first started trading, I was trading all these hours and I may have done well, but then I do some silly mistakes because I get tired, I get fatigued. But then I didn't have a lifestyle. I didn't have anything. Now, because I live here in Australia, what I like to do now is I get up first thing in the morning, and for the last hour of the US market, I get up, I look at the charts, I see what trades and what's happening with my trades. I then run my scans. It scans the entire US market, all the thousands of stocks. I just scan the top 1,000 stocks. And from that process, then I see if there's opportunities from the scanning process. And that's it. By 8 o'clock in the morning, my job is done. I now have the day to do what I want. If I want to do some sales calls for my coaching program, because I've got my coaching program open right now. And if you do need some help and you want some help and you want to be with me for an entire 12 months to help you through identification and the mistakes that you're probably going to make and the emotional and cutting losses short and let it profit on. If you need some help through the entire process, I have a 12-month coaching program that I've just opened up for 2025. If you go to getjohnshelp.com, you can see more information about that. And if it sounds good to you, then apply for it. And you and I will actually personally speak to on the phone if you do need some help through that it's a 12-month process that I sort of walk you through there. But then now, on the flip side, I now have the opportunities to, if I want to meditate, do some yoga. I'm into boxing, so I do a lot of boxing. Working out, gym, and all this sort of stuff, right? It's like spending time with kids, but it's given me the freedom and it's given me that really good balance there. See, because the way that I trade now and the way that I do things now is I do things in a way now that once again, I'm trading intraday charts. It was challenging when I did it. I used to have 7 screens and look at all these different markets. It's challenging, right? It really, really, really is challenging and it's hard. But my mindset shifted big time when I started going down the path of optimizing, having a trading style fit my ideal lifestyle. And once again, ever since doing that, if you want to see my equity curve, if you go to getjohnshelp.com, I think there's a link in the description there. If you go there, just scroll down a little bit, you actually can see my real equity curve for this year. And so I really want to do this video and hopefully give you guys a bit of light that by having the wrong thinking, right, by thinking the wrong thoughts sometimes, the thinking is that, I want to trade the intraday charts, 1 minute charts and so on and so forth, so I can have a lot of trades. Because if I have a lot of trades, I can make a lot of money. Right? That's the nature of the beast of what we think then. I did that for so many years. And I would trade throughout the day and then I'd stay up all night trading the futures markets and, oh man, it was hard. I ended up getting cancer from it. Like seriously, I ended up getting cancer. And it was because I got cancer and the doctor gave me 6 months to live back then. it would force me to start to do things a lot smarter. And so I had to start to come up with ways, systems and processes to start to, I still want to do well out of trading, but how do I do it without spending all these times in the markets? And ever since I made that shift of, I'm not going to look at the market for 12 hours a day, 10 hours a day. I'm just going to look at it for an hour per day. But I'm going to look for opportunities to get in today and then be able to get into opportunity where I can hold it for maybe for a few days, maybe for a week or more, pick up a really nice return and move on to the next trade. And every now and then I'm going to be in a trade that might last a month or so, and I'm going to do really well from that. And the funny thing is, the interesting thing is that ever since I made that shift to the way that I trade now, I'm taking less trades. Like sometimes I used to trade like 30 times a month. You know, it's like, it's just crazy. So now I take less trades. I'm less stressful in the markets. I'm not making as many mistakes. Because as you know, it's the mistakes, right? Of fatigue and all that sort of stuff. It's all those dumbass mistakes we make in the markets, right? That causes us to go backwards. And let me just check here. You know, and so because of that, everything started to pick up from there. I started to get good night's sleeps. I wasn't stressing as much in the markets. And because I started applying things like leverage, like options, we're just buying options on my trades, I could pick up a nice 50, 80% sometimes in a week or more. And it's just like, you know, you can start to have some really, really, really nice returns. My most successful trade this year was, it was a few months ago now. It was over the course of 6 weeks, and that made 400% return. But to get in and manage that trade that made me 400% return, and you can imagine if you start to do some really good numbers on these positions, you know, 20 or 30 or 40 grand on a trade, you can imagine just one trade like that. But to identify that trade just took me an hour per day of scanning, building watch lists, watching stocks, getting ready, and then you know, the hour per day, and then that hour, you know, then I identified the trade within that hour, got into the trade, and then every day I opened up the charts, last half an hour of the US markets, and then I'd manage the position, and every day I'm like, okay, nothing to do, manage it, stayed in, and then again, over the course of about 6 weeks, I made about close to 400% return on that trade. I want you to think about that for a minute, okay? A $20,000 investment would have made you $80,000 on that trade. And I'm not saying you're going to do this, right? Because it does take some training. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. But I'm trying to show you the concept of what's made me so successful now is identifying those trades. Or it might be just a trade that doesn't do that. That I've had a couple of trades in the last month or so that lasted, you know, a week and a half. One did 50% return, and another one did 70 or 80% return, and you know, it's like those sort of trades. So I'm trying to share this with you here to try to give you some light about that. If you're trying to get ahead in the markets and you're thinking, I need to take more trades, I want you to try to, like, how to identify trades that's like going to last a while that can have a big profit from. So I'm not getting in and getting out, because getting in and getting out, guess what? You're making emotional decisions, right? So, my whole goal for this is I'm just trying to share with you what's taken me 20 years to figure out. But now on the other side of the 20 years of figuring out the process to this and the proper thinking, my success rate's gone up, my income's gone up, and then also my freedom of what I'm doing in life. So, and my whole goal is that just hopefully if some of you guys that are trading or thinking that way, I'm trying to share some light with you about that if you are struggling and you are going down that path of thinking, I guarantee you it's one of the reasons why. Because I'm telling you right now, trading, sitting in front of the screens for 6-7 hours a day, even 4 or 5 hours in a row, and looking at the market like that, it's hard, man. Because your discipline and your patience needs to be like tenfold. And you guys know it's very, very, very hard from there. So hope this helps you out.